The fork hits the plate with a sharp metallic crack. Everyone in the restaurant turns. I feel the heat rise to my face, but I keep my voice low. Ava looks at me like I am something disappointing on the bottom of her shoe. You think I don't see it, Mason? You played the patient husband until you could secure your place in my family. My chest tightens. Ava, please. That isn't fair. Her mother, Linda, sits beside her, back straight, lips thin with satisfaction. It was only a matter of time, Linda says. Some men do not hide their intentions well. I breathe in slow, steady air. The candlelight flickers between us, catching the diamond necklace I bought Ava for her last birthday. I worked 3 jobs for that. She had admired it in a window for a month. Ava, I married you because I loved you, I say. She laughs, short and sharp. Love, right? Is that what we are calling it? I look at her, really look. The tension in her shoulders. The tremor in her fingers. She is angry, yes, but she is also scared. What changed? I ask. She presses her napkin to her lips, eyes cold. I am tired of pretending we are equals. I work, I plan, I push forward. And you? You sit there with your quiet little hobbies. No ambition, no hunger. You are waiting for my father to get old and hand everything over. Linda gives a small approving nod. She has wanted this moment, I speak softly. I did not ask for a cent from your family. Her chair scrapes back, loud in the room. I am considering divorce. It feels like the floor shifts under me. I keep my face still because if I break now, I will not recover. Divorce, I repeat, barely audible. Ava reaches for her coat. Yes, I want someone who meets me where I am. Not someone I have to carry. I stand too, but I do not touch her. I have carried things you do not know, Ava. She pauses for a breath. Then maybe you should have told me. She turns and walks toward the door. The glass panels rattle when the rain outside pulls her silhouette into blur. She steps into it without hesitation. No umbrella. No goodbye. Linda watches her leave. You were lucky she gave you as long as she did. She stands and leaves me with the plates. The bill and the hollow quiet that comes when something breaks and there is no sound. Only the aftermath. I walk home instead of taking a cab. The rain is cold enough to sting. I let it. Inside our living room, her perfume still lingers. I sit on the couch and press my hands to my face. I gave up everything for her. A life she never knew existed. A name I walked away from because I believed love was worth more than legacy. My phone buzzes. A number I have not seen in years. A single message. It is time. The inheritance is waiting. My heart stops. She has no idea who I really am. The tires crunch over gravel. The trees here are taller than I remember. Dark, wet from morning rain, bending slightly in the wind. The mansion appears through the mist like something out of a memory I tried to bury. I grip the steering wheel harder. My chest feels tight. I told Ava we could not talk today. She did not ask why. The gate is already open. He must have known I would come. The caretaker stands on the steps. Gray hair, familiar eyes. Welcome home, Mason, I swallow. Feels strange to hear that. He nods slowly. You stayed away a long time. I step inside. The air smells like polished wood and old history. No warmth, no laughter. This house was always quiet, like a museum for a life no one wanted to touch. My shoes echo on the marble floors. I used to hate it here, I say. You hated him, the caretaker replies. He means my father. A man who believed affection was weakness. A man who thought love made men stupid. Maybe he was right. I gave everything to love, and I lost it. We enter his old study. The windows overlook acres of fields. So much land. So much power. So much I walked away from. The lawyer is already seated. Mr. Hale, the final transfer forms are ready. Hale, the name I refused when I married Ava. I took her surname instead. She never understood why. I sit. The pen is cold in my fingers. Once you sign, the lawyer says, you become the sole owner of Hale Global Investments, a billion-dollar empire. The empire my father built with ruthless calculation. The empire he expected me to inherit and rule the same way. I sign each page slowly. My hand is steady, but my heart is not. The caretaker watches me. You could have had all this years ago. I did not want it, I say. He gives me a look that is neither judgment nor sympathy. Just truth. You wanted love. I let the silence settle. Ava once asked me why I never aimed higher. She said she wanted a husband who dreamed bigger. She never knew I had already walked away from the biggest dream anyone could hand me. I stand and look out the window. The fields fade into the horizon. So open, so empty. It never felt like mine, I say. The caretaker steps closer. And now? Now I am tired, hurt, bruised in ways no one can see. Now it feels like a responsibility I never wanted but cannot avoid. We leave the study. My footsteps echo again. I remember being small, running down these halls, reaching out for my father. He never once looked back. Outside, the air is cool. I inhale, trying to steady myself. If Ava had known all this, would she have stayed? Or would she have clung tighter, loved harder, or resented every second? I never wanted her to love my fortune. I wanted her to love me. The quiet me. The trying me. The ordinary me. I take one last look at the mansion before stepping toward the car. A voice behind me stops me cold. So, are you finally going to tell her who you are? I turn. Jade is standing there. Rain clinging to her coat. Eyes sharp. She knows everything, and she knows what this means. Jade steps closer to me near the front steps of the mansion. Her coat is still wet from the rain. Her eyes are sharp and tired. Why did you let her think you had nothing? She asks. I take a slow breath. The stone under my feet feels cold through my shoes. Because I needed to know her love was real. Jade laughs once, not out of humor. Mason, you know how people talk. You know what this will look like. I know. Then why choose that path? I look at the mansion behind me. Because my father chose wealth over everything. I wanted to be different. I wanted to love someone in a way he never could. Jade studies me. And did she love you back? I cannot answer. My phone buzzes. A single message. Ava, come home. Jade sees the screen. Her voice softens. Go. But be ready for the questions you never wanted to answer. I drive back through city lights that blur past like streaks of memory. The closer I get to our home, the tighter my chest feels. When I open the front door, Ava is sitting on the couch. Her eyes are red. Her hands are shaking. Mason, she says, were you with her? Her voice is thin, like it could break. I was handling family matters, I answer. With Jade. She is a lawyer. She handles the estate. Her jaw tenses. People are talking. My mother called. She said you went back to the Hale property. The estate your father left. Is that true? I step closer, but she steps back. Why did you go there, Mason? All these years you said you had no connection to that world. You said you had nothing to return to. Ava, please let me explain. I will listen if you tell me one thing first. Her eyes lock onto mine, raw and searching. Do you still have feelings for Jade? No, I say instantly. It is the clearest truth in my heart. Then why do you look at her like she knows parts of you I don't? Ava asks. The question hits something deep. Because she does. Because she was there when I broke, and Ava only saw me after I held myself together again. I never meant to hide anything from you, I say. That is a lie, she whispers. Tears spill again. You let me believe that I was the one providing. That I was the one giving you a life. You made me feel strong for once. You made me feel needed. And now everyone is saying I married beneath me. That I was pitying you. That you were pretending. Her voice shakes. Do you know how humiliating that is? I feel my throat tighten. I was trying to protect what we had. She exhales a quiet, broken sound. Protect it from what? From honesty. I cannot answer. The silence becomes heavy. Too heavy, she steps closer. Her voice is barely a whisper. If you have money, then why did you live like nothing? Her eyes are not just hurt. They are afraid. Afraid of what I am. Or what I might have been hiding all along. The question hangs in the air. Sharp. Heavy. And I realize this is the moment everything begins to fracture. Ava stands in the doorway of our bedroom. She is holding her own arms like she is trying to keep herself from falling apart. I need to tell you something, she says. The light from the hallway outlines her silhouette. I feel something heavy settle in my chest. Tell me, I say. She looks down. My family pushed me into marrying you. The words hit harder than I expect. My breathing stalls for a second. What do you mean pushed? I ask. She lifts her eyes and they are filled with exhaustion, not cruelty. They needed a merger with the company you used to work for. A partnership. I was told to get close to you. To make it look natural. And I did. At first it was just business. And then I did care. I think I did. But I never chose it. Not freely. I never chose you freely. The room feels smaller. I take one step back because I cannot hold the weight of all of this at once. Why are you telling me now, I ask? Because I thought you were trying to trick me, and I realized I have no ground to stand on. I am not innocent in this. I just wanted you to know. Before I can speak, her phone rings. Her father's name flashes bright across the screen. She hesitates, then answers. We hear his voice, sharp and commanding. Both of you. My office. Now. No explanation needed. The drive is silent. Her family home is large and cold. The kind of place where affection has to be scheduled. We sit across from her father at a long dining table with no food on it. Only documents, he taps them once. Divorce terms, quick, clean, dignified. Ava keeps her eyes down. Her fingers tremble against her lap. I speak before I know I am speaking. We are not divorcing, her father laughs. A short bark. You are a sentimental man with nothing to lose. You can afford stubbornness, but my daughter will not suffer a lifetime of pretending to admire a husband who offers her nothing. My jaw tightens. I never needed your money. Then what did you need? He asks. His voice is sharp like glass. The room feels like it is waiting to see whether I bleed. I look at Ava, not her father. You, I say. I needed you. Ava flinches like it hurts to hear. Her father leans back. Then you should want her to be happy. And she is not. I see her shoulders move, just once. A silent exhale. Pain. Regret. Something unresolved. I reach into my bag slowly. My hands do not shake. I place a folder on the table. The leather is worn. The edges are old. It looks unimportant, but I know what is inside. Her father raises an eyebrow. And what is that supposed to be? I look at him directly for the first time. Proof that I am not the man you think I am. The room stills. Ava lifts her eyes to mine. There is fear, but also something else, hope or dread. I open the folder. The documents inside gleam under the dining room lights. Ownership papers, assets, holdings, signatures, my inheritance, my identity, the fortune I walked away from, the truth no one expected. The conference room air felt heavy the moment the numbers flashed on the screen. The directors leaned forward. Her father stared at me like he was seeing someone entirely different. You are the one who stabilized the acquisition? He asked. His tone was not dismissive anymore. It was sharp, curious, almost proud. I nodded. Yes, I handled the restructuring personally. Ava froze beside me. Her fingers tightened around the arm of the chair. Her eyes did not blink. Her father stood and extended his hand. I misjudged you completely. You are not what I assumed. My chest tightened. The room waited. Cameras watched. Executives whispered quietly behind notebooks. I shook his hand. It felt like stepping into a spotlight I did not ask for. But Ava, she did not smile. She did not speak. She just stared at me like the ground had shifted beneath her. When the meeting ended, everyone clapped. People nodded to me, respect, recognition, power. But when I looked at her, she had already turned to the door. I followed her into the hallway. She walked fast, silent. I could hear her breath, but not her voice. We reached the car. The door closed. It was just us. The air was cold. The city noise muffled outside the glass. She stared ahead. Her hands rested on her lap. Perfectly still, why did you hide it from me? She asked. Her voice was quiet, but it cut deeper than any shout could. I exhaled. I did not want to be loved because of a title. I wanted something real. Something simple. Something I could trust. She turned her face toward me. Her eyes were unsure. A little lost. A little scared. You thought I would care about that? She asked. I did not know, I said. But everyone always does. They see the money. The name, the control. They see what I can give them. Not who I am. The silence settled thickly again. Ava looked down at her hands. Her fingertips brushed together. Her voice was almost a whisper. I never learned how to love like that, she said. Everything in my life has always been measured, expected, performed. I never knew what simple felt like. Her confession felt like a wound opening. I wanted to reach for her hand, but something told me not to. Not yet. I breathed in, slowly, carefully. You do not have to figure it out alone. Her eyes lifted to mine. There was a flicker. Something soft. Something I had not seen before, a beginning, or maybe a breaking. Her phone buzzed. She flinched, startled, then handed it to me without looking. "It is yours," she said quietly. My screen lit up. "Jade," I answered. Her voice came fast, urgent, breathless. "There is a problem, a big one. Someone is hitting the company from inside. Your father's name is being dragged into a scandal. Assets, accounts, legal teams are already moving. It is happening now." My heart dropped. The car suddenly felt smaller, hotter. The world was no longer gentle or quiet. Ava watched me. Her expression changed again. Concern, fear, something protective. "Tell me what to do," Jade said on the line. I swallowed hard. My pulse hammered in my ears. "Who is attacking us?" There was a pause. Then Jade spoke. "I think it is someone you know." Jade's voice was still ringing in my head when I walked into the office. The lights were too bright. The air smelled of coffee and panic. Reports were stacked on the table, marked with signatures I recognized. Ava stood beside me. Her fingers hovered over the documents like they were burning. "This is my family's letterhead," she whispered. Her voice cracked. She pressed her palm to her forehead like she was trying to hold herself together. "They are moving to take controlling share before the press release," Jade said on the speakerphone. "If they get the board's vote, they can legally override your father's authority." I stared at the signature stamped at the bottom. Ava's father. My chest tightened. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. Ava took a step back. "He would not do that." "He would not. He respected you." "He said he did," I turned to her. "Respect changes when power enters the room." Her breath hitched. She looked away, shoulders trembling. "You think he did this?" she asked. "I think someone with access and motive did," I said. "And right now that points to him." She shook her head. Too fast, too desperate. Her vision blurred with tears she did not let fall. "You do not understand. I spent my whole life trying to earn his approval. Every grade, every internship, every decision. He is my father. I believed he wanted the best for me." Her voice lowered to a whisper. "But maybe he only wanted control." She sank into the chair. Her hands covered her face. Her breath came uneven. I sat beside her, close, not touching. "Not yet, Ava," I said softly. Her hands lowered. Her eyes were red and shining. She looked at me like everything inside her was breaking. "If he is doing this, then I am the reason you are being attacked," she said. "I brought you into that boardroom. I put you in his sight. I wanted them to see your worth. I thought it would bring peace." "Not this," she choked on the last word like it physically hurt. I reached for her, hand slow, careful. My fingers touched hers. She did not pull away. Her hand was cold, shaking, but she held on. "I do not blame you," I said. "You have lived in a world where loyalty means survival. But love, real love, does not ask you to lose yourself. You get to choose who you stand with." Her eyes lifted to mine. The air between us felt fragile and electric. "Then tell me what to do," she whispered. Before I could answer, Jade entered the room, breathless. "The board called an emergency meeting," she said. "Your presence is mandatory." "Both of you," Ava stood. She straightened her blazer, wiped her eyes, became composed in a single inhale, the way someone who grew up in power learns to do. We walked into the boardroom together. Cameras, voices, papers shuffled. Every seat filled. Ava's father sat at the head of the table. His expression was unreadable. He stood slowly. "I have new information to..." "Present," he said. Everyone fell silent. He looked directly at Ava, not me. "We have discovered the source of the internal leak," he announced. The room went still. It was Ava. Her father's words hung in the air like a blade. Ava froze beside me. The room shifted. Eyes turned sharp. The boardroom felt colder than any winter. Ava stepped forward. Her voice trembled but did not break. "I did not leak anything." No one responded. The silence itself was accusation. The head of legal folded her arms. "The documents came from your login." A whisper ran across the table. Chairs creaked. Pens clicked. It felt like judgment had already been decided. Ava swallowed hard. Someone used my account. I would never sabotage my husband's company. I would never do that to him. Her father exhaled like she bored him. Ava, do not embarrass yourself. Admit it. Take the reprimand quietly. I will protect you if you cooperate. Her jaw clenched so tight I saw a vein rise in her neck. Her hands shook, but she stood straight. I said I did not do it. Her father smiled. A sad, disappointed smile. The kind parents use when they believe they raised a failure. That smile was worse than anger. I felt something inside me. Twist, I stepped forward. I trust her. The room stopped. Ava's head turned toward me. Her eyes widened, full of shock and something else. Something painful, a board member scoffed. You trust her? Based on what evidence? I met every gaze. I kept my voice steady. Based on the fact I know the person she is. She has been cornered her whole life. Used for image. For business. But she has never lied to me. Not once. Jade watched me from the far side of the room. Her expression unreadable. Studying. Calculating. Ava's father leaned back. Fingers tapping the table. Trust does not win board votes. Then let the vote fail, I said. Gasps. Someone dropped a pen. The air tightened like a wire stretched too far. Her father's smile disappeared. The meeting adjourned in uneasy silence. No decision made. Only tension left to rot in the hallway. We walked out together, but Ava did not speak. Her steps were uneven. She looked like she was trying to keep her body from collapsing inward. Outside, in the corridor where no one watched, she stopped. I need you to listen, she whispered. Her voice was raw. Not fragile, not soft. Just true, I did hate you. Once, in the beginning, she said, I was told you were beneath me. That marrying you would stabilize the company. That you were convenient. I resented that. I resented you. She looked at me and there was no defense left in her. Only truth, but then I saw how you live. How you choose your words. How you treat everyone like they matter. You never asked for anything from me. Not even respect. And I did not know how to handle that. Her breath shook. I did not leak anything. Not to hurt you, not now. I would never do that. Not anymore. Her voice broke on the last word. I stepped closer. Close enough to feel her breath warm against my skin. She did not move away. Jade hurried toward us, a phone in her hand. Her expression was sharp. You need to see this. She held up the screen. Security footage. A private office. A familiar woman entering Ava's mother. Linda. Taking files from Ava's computer. Ava stared at the video. Her lips parted. No, she whispered. Heard Ava's voice before I stepped into the room, sharp, wounded, furious. Say it. Say you did it. Her mother stood by the window, calm as polished marble. Sunlight framed her like a portrait. Linda did not flinch. I did, she said. Ava's breath caught. I felt it like a hand closing around my chest. Why? Ava asked. Her voice cracked. Why would you do that to me? To him, Linda turned slowly. Her eyes were tired, not cruel. That made it worse, because you were not strong enough to do it yourself. Ava stepped back. As if struck, Linda continued. You are soft. You always have been. You bend to whatever emotion touches you. If he gains more power, our family loses its leverage. You needed to be protected from your own weakness. The words fell like stones. Ava shook her head. You do not get to call that protection. That is control. It is survival, Linda replied. I stayed silent. Not because I agreed, but because this was not mine to fight yet. The air smelled of perfume and cold marble. My pulse was loud in my ears. Ava's hands trembled. I believed you. Even when you hurt me, I thought you were doing it because you wanted what was best. I did, Linda said. But you are choosing a man who lives in fantasies. He thinks love matters. He thinks trust matters. He is dangerous because he is willing to lose everything for feelings. Her gaze shifted to me, sharp as glass, and that makes him a liability. Ava stepped in front of me. It was instinct. Not dramatic, just real. He is not the one who betrayed me. Linda's expression did not move. You think this is betrayal? Wait until he ruins you. You married him under pressure. You resented him. You doubted him. You have never loved him. Ava closed her eyes. I saw the truth of those words hit her. Not like a wound, like a mirror. She opened her eyes again, clearer. Maybe I never knew how to love because I was raised to think love was weakness. You taught me that. Linda's jaw tightened. Ava's voice steadied. But I get to choose now. Even if I choose wrong, I choose myself, she looked back at me. For the first time, not apologizing. Not asking for forgiveness. Just choosing. And I felt it like warmth spreading through my chest. Linda inhaled slowly. A queen preparing for war. Then you have made your decision. Ava nodded. Her mother took a step forward. Her heels echoed like finality. Then understand what comes next. I will not let you destroy our legacy. If you stand with him, you stand against this family. And I will treat you accordingly. Ava's voice did not shake. Then do it. Linda walked past us. Calm, controlled. At the door, she paused. I will file injunctions. Freeze accounts. Call boards. Every asset tied to either of you will be contested. I will burn everything before I let him have it. My hands curled into fists. Ava's breath hitched once, but she did not speak. Linda looked back, eyes like ice. Consider this the beginning. The door closed, and the world we knew closed with it. Rain hit the windows like a steady pulse. The apartment felt smaller than usual, warm but quiet. I was chopping vegetables in the kitchen when I heard the front door close behind Ava. She had one small suitcase. Only one. She set it down gently. I left, she said. I wiped my hands on a towel. Are you sure? Ava nodded. Not dramatic. Not emotional. Just sure. I do not have anywhere else I want to be right now. We stood there, seconds stretching, thick with everything we had not said for years. I will take the couch, I said. She shook her head. No, stay in the room. I'm not here to run from anything anymore, I nodded. My chest felt too tight. We cooked together. I passed her the knife. She sliced slowly, carefully. The sound of the blade on the board was rhythmic. Our hands brushed once. She did not pull away. I felt the warmth travel all the way up my arm. She looked up at me. Do you remember the first morning after we got married? I made coffee. You said it was the best coffee you ever had. I thought you were mocking me. I smiled a little. I really meant it, she exhaled softly. I never knew when you were being sincere. I was always bracing for disappointment. Water simmered on the stove. Steam rose like soft fog. I know, I said. You were raised to expect betrayal before love. I should have seen that sooner. Ava lowered her gaze. You tried. I pushed you away. I shook my head. I hid too. I thought keeping my past quiet made love pure, but it also kept me distant. Silence again. But this time it felt like something healing, not breaking. After dinner, we sat by the window. The rain outside blurred the city lights into soft watercolor. Ava leaned her shoulder against mine. Her hair smelled like jasmine. I did not move. I let myself feel her weight. She whispered, I do not know how to do love right. My heart clenched. Neither do I. I only know that it has to be honest. She turned toward me. Close enough for me to feel her breath. Her eyes shimmered, not with tears, but something more fragile. Can I try to love you the way you loved me? My throat tightened. I placed my hand over hers. Slow, gentle, certain. Yes. She leaned in. Her forehead rested against mine. The moment was quiet, warm, real. Her fingers tightened around mine. My chest felt full, not with relief, but with beginning no grand kiss, no dramatic embrace. Just two people choosing to stay. Thunder rolled softly outside. The room dimmed as clouds shifted, shadows moving across her face. She looked at me like I was something she was learning to understand for the first time. Then, a knock at the door. Firm, urgent. Ava pulled back. I stood and opened it. Jade stood there, raincoat dripping, face serious. She held a folder thick with documents. You both need to read this, she said. My stomach dropped as I saw the seal on the first page. Everything we had just begun to build was already in danger. The courtroom was silent except for the rustle of papers. Ava's hand fit into mine like it had always belonged there. I could feel the tension in her fingers, tight but determined. Across the room, her mother sat stiff, cold, her face a mask that could not hide the frustration. The judge cleared his throat. Based on the documents presented and the testimony, the injunctions are denied. The assets remain under Mr. Mason's control. The words landed like thunder. Relief and disbelief rippled through me. I caught Ava's eyes. Her lips parted slightly, disbelief mirrored in her gaze. We both exhaled. Not triumphantly, not loudly, just quietly together. She leaned closer for a moment, brushing my shoulder against hers. Outside, the rain had begun. Sheets of water blurred the city into gray streaks. I opened my umbrella and Ava stepped close, sharing the small space. Her coat was damp, her hair sticking to her face, and I wanted to brush it away. "We did it," she whispered. Not proud. Not boastful, just present. I let go of the umbrella and took her hand instead. Warm, real, solid. No hesitation. No doubt. "You stood through everything," I said, even when it felt impossible. She looked up at me, her eyes searching, soft. "I didn't marry the gold," she said quietly. "I'm staying for you," I stopped. The world around us, the rain, the cars, the murmuring crowd, faded. Her words sank deep into me. Every doubt, every fear, every lonely year collapsed under the weight of her truth. "I never wanted you for money," I said. "Never, only you. Only us." Her fingers squeezed mine. Her breath brushed my cheek. The rain ran off our shoulders, dripping to the ground like a shared heartbeat. I pulled her close. Not the dramatic kind of closeness. Quiet, intimate. Our heads touched, our breaths mingling. Her eyes fluttered closed. I could feel her pulse against my chest. "I promise," I whispered into her hair. "I will never let anyone make you feel trapped again. Not your family, not me. Not anyone." She tilted her face up slightly. "I want to trust that," she said softly. "Completely. With everything I have left to give." I kissed her forehead. Just a gentle press. Not for show. Not for anyone else. Just for us. The rain continued around us. Our shoes were soaked. Our coats clung to our skin. But we did not care. It did not matter. We stepped forward together, hand in hand, letting the storm wash over us. The world could remain messy, dangerous, and uncertain. But right there with her close, everything felt possible. I felt her glance at me, a mixture of relief and love I had never allowed myself to hope for. "We can choose each other," she said. "Every day." "Yes," I replied. "Every day." We walked down the wet steps, leaning into each other, our hearts synchronized. No grandeur, no declarations to the world. Just two people who had finally earned the right to be together, willingly, without conditions. Rain plastered her hair to her forehead. I tucked a strand behind her ear. Her lips curved into a small, genuine smile. And in that quiet, soaked moment, I realized we had survived the storms inside and out. We were finally free. Free to choose each other. And we did.